Andersen.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to channel Andersen, and welcome to a video that I've kind of been feeling like making for a while. We just need to catch up. I need to take a breath. I need to catch up with you guys, tell you what's going on, update, and just spend some time hanging out with no pressure to do any crazy big projects. So I hope you guys don't mind, but let's dive into things and see what's been going on around the shop, everything I've been working on, and just have a time to take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy each other's company. So hope you guys hang out with me for a bit. All right, well, where do I start? The shop is kind of a mess. We've got a swirl of projects going on as always. I've been finally getting back into the 190E. I'm doing the control arms right now. Haven't even been really filming the things I've been doing for it because it's just so much little in between stuff. But I plan on making a new Benzin on a Budget episode once all these are, ready to go back in and whatnot. M113K has been on my mind lately. I want to get it cleaned up. Going into summertime, I got to drag it outside and just get it, hosed off. I don't want you guys to think I've completely forgotten about this thing. It was an amazing deal when we got it from the junkyard. I think I paid like, I don't even know, 300 bucks or 400 bucks for it, and came with pretty much everything. But this is definitely a dirty example. It had obviously been leaking, I think, from the tandem power steering ABC pump or whatever it was that was on it. I think that's the majority of it, and then probably the oil cooler as well, and it just made a mess up front. But I do want to get into this thing at a certain point, and the plan is to put it into something that never originally came with one of these, maybe like a S124 or even like a truck. I thought that would be really cool. Put it into like a early 2000s truck, or maybe even something older, like old school. So we'll see, but it's definitely needs to get it definitely needs to get refreshed, and just kind of do the basic stuff, seals, check over it decently, and see what kind of shape it's in and go from there. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on this real quick because a lot of you guys asked me about it. I have not forgotten, don't worry. It's just kind of on the back burner because we got other things taking priority. Over here, parts. Finally went and picked up another one of these yesterday to put on this side of the wall so I can keep all this stuff organized when I go to pack up orders. Thank you to everyone that's been ordering stuff. If you guys haven't, you can check out andersen.co. I've got, things like EGR deletes, SAI deletes, random stuff like supercharger bolts, billet water fitting that always goes bad on the C55s, and just 203 chassis in general. Does not fit the C32 people. Unfortunately, we just found that out. Thank you to Jinko over in Florida for finding that out for me. I hadn't really been able to test fit, obviously, with M113K and the surge tanks, and this definitely, I guess you could force it to work, but it's not a perfect fit. So it's more so for all 203s that are NA, and specifically the C55s. Other than that, all the other parts, that's just some of it. Most of it lives in these boxes, so I need to pick up storage rack over here to just kind of keep these things in bins away, and keep the smaller stuff in the little cubbies or totes, whatever you want to call it, so I can just quick grab them and start piecing together orders. We did pick up another manual transmission and some other supplies, and I've got some more stuff coming from overseas for a new customer manual swap. Really excited about this one. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is yet. You'll see eventually, but yeah, that'll be going down starting out this summer, and we have that one and then another one coming later in September too. So if you guys are interested in having me manual swap your cars, like I've said before, I'm really only trying to do like 4 to 5 per year, just to keep it logistically doable. But it does help out, obviously help the channel, let me invest back into what we're trying to do and keep things sustainable for my family and I to, have me pouring as much money and time and effort into all these things as I do. So yeah, that's that. We got a whole other collection of manuals down here. I have been thinking about letting go the Cosworth gearbox because I don't know if I'm going to use it on the C36. I think realistically, when I do, swap the C36. I'll most likely go with a 6-speed. I just know them better, and I know all the kits that work with them. And even though this one came with an amazing custom flywheel and clutch and all that stuff, I just don't know if it's the best move to use such a rare trans nowadays on that car. Although I will say, when I drove Dolly's car down in the Bay Area, and that was just a regular M104 3.2 liter with the 5-speed, it was fantastic. So that part draws me to it, that experience. But the rarity of this box and me not having familiarity with it leans me a little more towards this style box, which this one is for the M111 for the 190. But yeah, random thoughts again. Speaking of the 190, we really, I guess I've made a decent amount of progress like off camera without you guys, which apologies. I probably should have just been putting little pieces out and videos here and there, but haven't. But suspension is pretty much all there, ready to go back on. I've just been taking my time and, you know, obviously put on the back burner once I started the C63 manual swap. So a lot of parts ready to go on. Control arms, I have everything for them. We have the new coilovers, this side's already mounted. And then I'm planning on doing a lot of work to the brake setup. We are not going to be running the ABS anymore, and I might even change out the booster or just do something else with that setup. This is our radiator in this box. It's like a 70s Mopar radiator that I was told worked from the Facebook pages, and I think it would work, but the aluminum radiators specifically for the Cosworth have gotten fairly cheap on eBay now. When I first looked at them, they were like 400 bucks. Now they're like 200 bucks. So I might just buy one and sell this. This one was, I think, like 160 bucks. So had I seen those when I bought this, I would have just bought them because they'll be a direct bolt-on and they work for both automatic and manual. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I did pull apart the interior a good bit, well, at least a cluster. You guys saw me when we converted all the interior to black and put the sparkles in. But I'm gonna need to customize a cluster. I'm planning to use a GPS Speedo, and they've got some pretty cool like all-in-one unit now for pretty cheap too on eBay for like, I don't even know, 40, 50 bucks, where it's a size that will fit in the current Speedo. I don't care about tracking the mileage on this car or anything like that. So I'm not going to worry about that. Maybe we'll get that to work. I don't know. But more importantly, just getting a Speedo and a tack to work is really the main goal with this car. We are going absolutely like bare bones, raw experience with this thing, as mechanical as we can get, manual as much as possible. Might not even run power steering on it if I can figure out how to kind of like loop the rack and make it somewhat comfortable. I don't want to be fighting too much like back in my old Honda days without power steering, but at the same time, it's a pretty light car. So, you know, we'll see as time goes on, but that's that for this thing. And then aside from that, I'm trying to think what else in the garage. Pretty much it. And now we'll jump out, cars outside. C63 has had a check engine light for the gas cap of all things, and it's super annoying. I'll meet you guys out there and then we'll talk about it. All right, you guys, a little bit dark out here obviously, but here are cars that are out here: C36, C55, C63, and the CLK55 chilling over here. So like I said, C63, basically went to go fill it up with gas. Took the gas cap off obviously to do that. Was driving it around after that for like an hour, went to a car show, and then as I was driving back home, got a warning on the dash that said gas cap loose. I was like, did I forget to spin it or something? Did not. The little gas gauge symbol started flashing. No check engine light came on, but I was like, okay, that's weird. Pulled over, checked it, took it off, put it back on, went away, no check engine light. Then got the car back home. When I went to take the car out again later, check engine light came on, and again it said gas cap loose. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Took it home again, cleared the check engine light, cleaned off the seal on the gas cap, took it out, you know, and put it back on. Drove it another hour or so, all good. I think I drove it like the next day, nothing. And then again, check engine light came back on. So right now we're gonna dive into what it is. The only thing I think is like maybe I missed a line or something when I was doing the fuel injectors, but I've driven it for like a week after doing the injectors. So maybe it just is a bad gas cap seal. So I don't know. We'll see what the code says right now and go from there. All right, guys, just got the code pulled up. It was before just a gas cap, but now it's saying a gross leak in the evaporative emission control system was detected. So I have a feeling maybe I left something, I don't know, unplugged, or a line is not attached correctly or something. So I am going to go ahead, pull it into the garage. I need to get it on the flat level ground anyways, to untighten and retighten the strut brace, because I feel like it's squeaking on the left side. When I put it back on, when I did the fuel injectors out here, the ground is not level, and I think doing that, it's causing it to rub a little bit on the left side. So yeah, let's pull it in the garage and you know, tackle this. I got to take the strut bar off anyways to get to all the airbox assembly and check underneath there, see if I did something wrong. All right, guys, well, strut brace and airbox is off. Taking a look back here. The only thing I took off when I was doing the fuel injectors was this line right here, which I don't know if they have them glued together maybe in factory. Maybe I should do that. I took this one out and I basically put the electric grease back on it to reinstall it. I don't know. It kind of felt like it was, maybe it's epoxy together or glue together, and maybe that's what's going on. So I can do that while we're in here, but I would assume if that thing's under vacuum, it wouldn't even make a difference. And if it was something else, you know, we were in here for a catch can, but we did the catch can so long before this code or anything ever popped up, so I don't think it's related whatsoever. But yeah, that's really, this line is really the only one, and I've inspected it throughout to see if it's cracked at all anywhere, but because that is something that happens, but I don't see anything. So I guess I'll take it off of that connector right there, clean it up, and maybe put a little bit of sealant on it instead of the electric grease. I was just trying to make it easy to service, that's why I did that, but it seems a bit bizarre. So I'll keep looking around, see if I notice any other small lines or something off. But if I don't see anything, I'm gonna clear the codes, and if they come back, I'm just gonna delete the evap sensor to not make it so sensitive. So yeah, strange. All right, guys, well, I thoroughly looked everything over. I put a little bit of blue Hylamar on that vacuum line right there, and then there is white lines on it, like what looks like, you know, where it should end off in the little connector. So I tried to line it up to there. I thought maybe if it was too far forward, it would pull more than it was looking for. I don't know. I'm just being extra anal, I guess, at this point. I guess I'm just being extra careful at this point, but yeah, I don't really see anything. So we're gonna go ahead, run it. I'll clear the code, see if it comes back, and if it does, we'll go from there. But anyways, it's just another part to include in this little update video. All right, you guys, well, that's all buttoned up again. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the code. I don't think I'm gonna put the strut bar back on for now. 2 reasons, I guess. Kind of annoying to work on. I had one on my C55 a long time ago, and I ended up taking it off of that too, because it's just annoying. Like every time you go to work on the engine, you got to get it out of the way. And 2, the aluminum on these things is pretty chewed up, like almost to the point where like the bore on this side especially is like chewed out. So I am thinking, I don't know, we'll see how it runs without it. If I don't notice a difference of how it feels without it, then I'm just gonna run without it. So yeah, I'll clean those up, get them ready if I am gonna throw it back on, but we'll see how it is. All right, guys, fault code is cleared, so we're in the clear. And then other updates I was just thinking about, I should tell you guys too. I've passed the 500 mile mark on this thing, so I'll make a dedicated video to this at a certain point, but that means clutch break-in was pretty much good to go. So I started, you know, pushing it a little farther, a little harder as I got past that mileage, and happy to report that the clutch has been holding good. I did a clutch dump in first, I did, you know, hard launches in first, second, third, and it's been holding up. And then I did make some changes to the programming as well. This is what reminded me of this, staring at this. I couldn't get the car to like rev match. It just felt like it didn't want to rev at all when it was in neutral. Like I'd have to put my foot down super hard to even get it to go anywhere, and it still felt like I wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, what's going on here? And then I spoke with Josh, Mercedes Swap Shop, you guys know, and he was like, well, check out the throttle dampening and the dash pot. And I never even heard of dash pot, but he explained it to me basically as how fast the throttle body will close after coming off of revs, basically. So played around with a few settings. I changed the throttle actuation value. It was on 2.1. I changed that to 1.1, which is like the most sensitive. So that improved the throttle response a lot, but it didn't change the no revving issue, or, you know, the rev matching stuff. And then I played around with throttle dampening, turned that off, didn't end up doing anything. And then I changed the dash pot, and putting that on made the car able to rev freely in neutral. So now I'm able to rev match the car and feels 100% now. So that was the last little thing that I hadn't figured out in part 2 of the manual swap series. I'd figure out all the other programming, but for some reason, well, now I know the dash pot. I just couldn't get it to rev match. Now I'm able to do so. So it feels like a proper manual now. Not being able to rev match and downshift on a manual car is like, you know, half of the fun. So being able to do that now feels way better, and it makes the car feel totally natural. It's weird when you put your foot down on a manual car in neutral and it feels like it's not going anywhere, or, you know, revving the flywheel at all. So yeah, it was a strange sensation, but glad to report we figured it out. So that's it. I think we are good to go. Let me unplug this thing real quick. All right, now go ahead and fire it up. Okay, and we'll get some fuel in the morning. I will catch you guys then. All right, guys, checking back in. It's a couple days later, I think, since I last saw you guys. Good news to report on the C63. I've driven it like 5 or 6 times, or probably like, I don't even know, 8 to 10 starts since that last clip you guys saw, and no return of the evap leak code at this time. So fingers crossed stays that way. It definitely came back way sooner than that before. When I would clear it, it came back like 1 or 2 starts later. So maybe it just was that little vacuum tube needed to be sealed all the way, and it wasn't. I also wiped off the what's it called, seal on the gas cap, because I had put some dielectric grease on it. So I wiped it off just to make sure it was dry. I don't know, but yeah, seems fine. I'm gonna do something that a lot of you guys have probably been waiting for me to do for a long time, and that is wash this engine off, because it is absolutely filthy. To do that, I'm gonna mount up the headers. Probably it's probably the best way to do this. I probably should have washed it off before I took the headers off anyways. Yeah, we're gonna have to really scrub this thing, so I'll figure out what I'm doing. I mostly need to spray off the front, like that's the nastiest part of this, but I figured it's a nice day, might as well do the job. So I'm gonna move the C63 and get prepped to wash this thing down. All right, guys, well, I think I'm in good position with this thing. Good luck to future me getting this back up into the garage. It's gonna be kind of a challenge, but I am going to make this into its own video, so I'm going to leave this where it's at, but I did want to touch base just on the 3 cars we didn't really take a look at the beginning of the video. C55, C36, CLK55. C55, I just drove it recently. It's doing great. I do need to do just, you know, like yearly maintenance on it. I gotta do oil change, inspect a few things, and I got a heap of mods that are just waiting desperately for it. The C36 has kind of been chilling. It's been on daily duty, but didn't drive it for like the last week and a half because the headliner is failing badly in the back, so I need to get that taken care of. What is that? Where does that come from? And it just needs to get washed up. I'm honestly considering having somebody else do the headliner because it's just a cumbersome job and it's getting hot. So I don't know, if I do tackle it, I'll do it in the evening, maybe even today if I get inspired, but that needs to get done. And then the CLK55, I've been planning on doing some cooling mods to it because it needs it at that stage that it's at right now. It's good, but if I want to really push it once it's summertime especially, I need to upgrade the cooling. So I did take all the tints off. I don't know if you guys can tell really with the lighting that we're at with the video, but it looks way better. All of this was black vinyl too, and so I took all that off. I'm trying to make it OEM, a little more OEM looking. Put the grill back to factory, and yeah, just trying to clean it up. I was like on the fence about selling it a few months ago, and then I realized, well, let me just like make it my own fully, exterior wise, everything, because I've made it my own driving wise and, you know, doing the mods that I've done to it, but I just really wanted to clean it up. So it definitely suits it way better to my liking now. I might powder coat the wheels like a silver or like a gunmetal later on to give it a little more clean factory look, but these look pretty good. They're powder coated like a graphite black. It's hard to tell on camera, but they're not all the way black, so they do look pretty good on the car, and the wheel style fits really well, the 507 style. So I still need to scrape the leftover window tint glue off the back window and the passenger side windows. And then the other annoying job that I'm going to have to tackle this summer is the window regulator for the back, you know, secondary window or whatever you want to call it, rear window on the passenger side, so that we can enjoy pillarless coupe this summer properly. Also, this thing still has AC, but it doesn't work, so I'm going to try to get it filled and see if we can bring it back, because it has everything there. But yeah, and then this thing, it's been daily driving. So that kind of wraps things up. Just a quick update for you guys. If you got questions about anything, just comment below, of course, and I'm happy to answer. Thank you again to everyone that's been placing orders on andersen.co. Literally like every day, every other day, I'm going to the post office and getting stuff out, and we even have like international orders starting to go out. I've sent stuff to like Hong Kong, UK, Norway, Saudi Arabia, other parts of Europe. So it's been humbling to experience that. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys soon for whatever we got coming up. And like I said, I'll make a dedicated video to getting this thing cleaned up, M113K, and we'll check in then. So appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Andersen.